Hello, welcome back to Sinatra Clash of Clans. Good day here, 320 on the day. Some defenses, so small trophy gain, nothing too impressive on defense. Just doing my best to have strong offense, so when I do eventually have a good defense day, I'll have some good trophy gain, hopefully. Trying out new stuff here and there. Trying my best to, see what's working well for other people by either just checking how they did, spending some time FCing bases, see what works. Really hard to get something that's defending right now, but trying my best. Starting this one off with a nice fireball. Multiple key defenses. One thing I try to do today that I noticed Stars was doing is he doesn't really start with his king when he's pulling his warden. He starts with his super witches. I'm gonna try to do that more, and that just helps with saving the king's HP and letting those big boys tank. Um, Keeps the king safe and allows it so you can use the ability later on the hit. Which is kind of my whole goal with that. It doesn't really work out here, but initially, start with the witches, back up with the king. One little thing I'm gonna try to do better. At this point, the king's really healthy and a very great spiky ball. So I think that helped out here, potentially. Yeah, this base had a lot of fireball value, and from there it was kind of over. Some strong defenses on this back end, but both hero abilities and a freeze spell. It'll be no problem. Tons of troops. Good start to the day, and we'll get on to the second attack. Interesting base. These bases definitely try to spread out the key defenses, so it's harder to choose where you want to fireball, especially with those ricochets on the corners and their own isolated compartments. The multi archers as well, kind of near the corners on the outside of the base. But I really like this spot right here. I'm going to try to land on a builder hut. Because when I land on that builder hut, I'm able to get the multi archer, the mono, the bow, and that other miscellaneous defense that will get along the way, the air defense. We'll get the air defense as well. Just have to be careful of traps. I use that Coco Loon pretty early to pull some red air bombs. Pull a Tesla. I actually land right on the mono, actually. And that allows me to get both bows, but I don't get a multi-archer, which is fine. The witches starting the attack along with the warden, they will be able to get that multi-archer. I can honestly see both fireballs there being fine. I've now deployed my king a little bit after. My big boys are out front tanking. Got some good breaks to get them to go towards the mono. The town hall will be close in range of the main army here soon. So hoping the super witches along with the warden can snipe that off and then they can move to the core. Gonna use a freeze, try to get some damage off the troops. That town hall is almost dead. Warden's able to pick it off, which is great. I just decided to do the RC at 6, try to take some pressure off the queen so she can just kind of keep her ability and start just kind of cleaning up the back end. And I'm not putting the RC into too much damage or danger, so I'm able to hold on to the ability until now. And then good timing trying to help that main army as they get to the back end here where there's a few strong defenses that will need some extra help getting through. Just using some random cleanup to distract that ricochet, might as well. I'm not nowhere else to really deploy it. Plenty of troops, not too much time to spare, but not super close, as this attack can be kind of slow with the setup. A lot of rage, defenses here, a couple strong compartments. We're going to go with the Warden at 9 and try to get it somewhere near this town hall. A good spot to land could potentially be that builder hut. Or if I get a little deeper, on that bow. Both would be very good. Landed on the bow. Warden in a very dangerous spot, but I'm able to rage and keep him alive. I'm going to pull him with the witches and start a funnel at 6 o'clock with our siege and our queen. No builder huts on the town hall, so that's great. Sometimes you can do the fireball and a builder hut or two could be working on that and repairing it, and it kind of neglects the fireball damage we did, but that'll make it really easy for the RC to just pick off when I deploy it up top a bit later. RC is deployed at 10. I get a couple defenses and then I pop, just because I don't really need to pop on those first couple. It's easy for her to get through. This was a pretty strong hit here. A lot of time left over, a lot of troops. The queen in the siege barracks did a great job taking out that eagle compartment. The queen was able to pop around the eagle, and she is still really healthy. So that was really nice. She was able to go into the base and help the main army. No obvious fireball value that I'm seeing. Everything's pretty spread out. And for that reason, I'm really taking this entire prep, and I still don't really know what I want to land on. And I am just going to hold on to my fireball. So I'm going to start with a Warden walk. And maybe I was thinking I would land on the bow early on in the hit. But I'm going to just change my mind and decide to hold it, because I don't really like any of that value. And I'm going to hold it until I get closer to the core and kind of land it on the scatter town hall and just kind of weaken that up before my army pushes in. Because this isn't too hard to just funnel out with a Warden walk over here. I could have maybe thrown it to that bow, but I'm only getting the bow and the eagle, and I would need to have another Quake or some type of troop to go snipe off the eagle, so I didn't really think it was worth it. I use a rage to get through that Rico cannon. King was leading the charge here. Won't be that big of a deal. I just have to be careful of this single, making sure I freeze it up, because it looks like it locks onto him. And use a freeze there. Queen had to be popped early, probably because that bow locking onto her. And also just making sure stuff goes in right where I needed it to and not walking. And I just kind of got my Warden close to that scatter and popped his ability on it. You definitely could have fireballed somewhere else. I just couldn't see that value at the time and went with that. Deploying my RC up at 9 to pick off that eagle. Nothing up there that can really hurt her besides those bows, and takes care of them no problem. Lots of buildings I need to clean up, but plenty of cleanup starting it nice and early. This one is getting pretty close here. I don't have many troops left. I have a couple super witches, low HP queen, and the RC. But it's plenty to get through these last few defenses. But yeah, let me know if you think there was a better fireball. I couldn't really see anything, and sometimes the Warden walk is good enough, and I like to just hold on to it. Use it a bit later, like I did there. Once again, so many of these bases just really trying to prevent fireball value anywhere, as it's such a strong attack right now. I'm doing Warden at 6 o'clock here, so you have to be really careful because we're going into a lot of stuff. Mono and Warden, as well as those ground bows. And if I have ground bows with those defenses, that could get dangerous, or a ground bow and a multi-archer could be too much for my Warden. I'm going to have to use spells to watch my HP. But I'm able to take out that mono with the help of a rage spell. I fireball onto a builder hut and I get a builder hut, bow, and multi-archer. While I'm here, I'm going to walk out the Warden. And I don't really want to waste any more time, so I just pull with the super witches. The king's about half HP. Lose a healer to a Sam. Not ideal, not the end of the world. Able to pull another one with a loon, so that's great. At this point, I'm all out of Cocoa loons. But once my witches, my Warden, get into this Inferno compartment, I will be able to fight the Town Hall from this compartment and then go into the rest of the base. Very similar to a base I hit earlier. A similar approach. Freezing up that Town Hall on the bow. Town Hall can do a lot of damage, and it goes down fairly quickly once it got activated. That was nice that my fireball was not in range and didn't activate it, so it didn't do any damage till that 50% mark. Queen's doing her own thing up top, and RC is deployed at the bottom. King's ability opened up access to almost all the back end, and the super witches are all still very healthy. So, good hit here, continuing the day. few more to go. Yeah, just try my best to have solid offense because the defenses are hard to get. It's hard to do though. One simple mistake can definitely cost a day and make it become a negative. This is kind of a common base. I've definitely hit this before where I've tried to land on the hall. On this one, I'm going to try to land either on that bow or that Rico cannon. I think I'm going to be able to get the Rico cannon, and with that, I'll be able to get the CC and the poison, which will be the plan. It just depends how I have to use my invises. If I'm able to walk out this wizard tower, which is great because my warden's walking that way, I get the wizard tower, I'll be able to chuck onto that Rico cannon. Rico doesn't go down because of a builder hut. That builder hut by the warden wasn't quaked, so it goes to repair the Rico cannon. Not the end of the world. It's really nice that we got down the CC because Ice Golems coming out next to those defenses could be really annoying. Maybe I could place my quake a bit different where I'm able to quake the builder huts along with the CC. That would be ideal. It is probably doable, but it goes down pretty quickly. The troops were funneled perfectly in, and a good jump to give me access to the eagle. King was very healthy and will have a great ability here near the town hall, almost directly on it, opening up a ton of walls. RC is deployed on the side and insta-popped. Queen still has her ability. That will help going into the enemy mono and hero that's left, the king right there. I definitely like that approach, and if I see that base again, I'd probably approach it a very similar way. Worked out very well there with that fireball. Now this base is also very common. One way I approached it in the past was trying to land on some defenses over on this 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock side. I'd maybe land on that archer tower or that scatter. I found that to be a little bit dangerous. I probably lost my warden through the fireball to those defenses. If something stays up or the quake's a little late, I don't know. The mono or some of those scatter shots, like you can sometimes maybe lose your warden. I've definitely had that happen. So I decided to go over here at 9 and land on the town hall. I'm going to land on the town hall and get town hall and 2 multi-archers. And then I'm going to walk. I'm just going to walk my warden to get this town hall picked off. I'm doing a flinger at 6 o'clock. I'm not able to get many key defenses, but I'm just able to kind of weaken the back end by picking off some wizard towers, a cannon, and a archer tower that flinger will work on down there. Definitely try the fireball on the scatter, for example, or those archer towers near the mono. I just think this is a safer approach, even though I'm going into multi-archers and a hero. When I'm battling that RC, I'm out of range of the multi-archers, and I thought it just looked kind of safe. And those Tesla farms right there, that's definitely trying to bait that fireball, like that archer tower. If you deploy your warden without testing into a Tesla farm with a bow, like you'll be sent to insta ability and you'll just fireball all those Teslas. So that's definitely the common approach that they're trapping with that Tesla farm. So just something to keep in mind. If you see a bow near a corner, an edge, that if there's a Tesla farm there, it's just too much for the warden. So always important to test with barbs and then Coco Loons for your healers. But this approach was safe. It was strong. I'd probably do it again in the future, instead of that riskier, more dangerous one, I think. But if you're confident in your abilities, you can definitely do that one too. Just test for that Tesla farm for sure. I hit this base, and a buddy the next day was looking to run it, and I didn't recommend it. I think I have a really good fireball here. Usually, rage bases, bases with double rage towers, can have that good fireball value where they're trying to clump up defenses near it. Unlike these ones, maybe where it's like a poison, like a double poison, or the bases where stuff's more spread out, you're not going to get as much fireball value. But I'm going to land on this bow here, I think, and it's going to be pretty strong value. Bow, multi-archer, scatter. And it's going to create a great funnel. I'm just going to start smashing in kind of towards the Warden. Yeah, and once this Warden's down and my siege barracks and queen create that funnel, it's really just really easy entry into this first comp with the scatter bow, and I'm into the core. It's possible the king walks and he won't come back. And even with that happening, I think it's going to be a strong hit still. I decided to not quake him there because I didn't really want my main army to walk out potentially, so I just hold his ability and I jump my witches and my queen to the core. The king walking definitely hurt. I'd probably just try to funnel it a little bit differently. Maybe by just swapping my queen and my siege barracks so the queen is able to like shoot over those walls, shoot over that like outer wall that my king wanted to walk towards instead. Because the P.E.K.K.A.s just worked on the outside and didn't go into that first layer. And honestly, this isn't overpowered. This is like a close hit. So the space isn't horrible. And even when I did my Warden fireball, it was a little bit dangerous. So base to consider maybe, but you never know. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace, and thank you.